First forecast brought to you by Store It at Home, rent-to-own portable buildings out there today. Warm, and we have the cloud cover moving in. That's going to stick with us over the next couple of days, unfortunately, as we go into the weekend. Of course, we got big activities going on out there. We're going to have the cloud cover and even a possibility of a chance of rain. 88 degrees today, and you might think that's warm, but places in the northeast got up to 94 or even higher in some locations. So we were nicer than some places in the northeast. 69 last night. That's thanks to that moisture moving northward, fueling those storms and those showers well off to our north and west. Turning cloudy out there for tonight, 65 degrees, another humid night on the way. Of course, we'll break down the hourly forecast for all of your activities as we go, not just through the day tomorrow, but even into the weekend. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. Your ABC 31 News starts right now.
Welcome to ABC 31 News Tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Access to fresh, locally grown food is expanding in the central Louisiana area. ABC 31's Joanna Phillips has the story.
You've probably seen them around the central Louisiana area. Tents and booths set up on certain days of the week, selling fresh fruits, vegetables, and other produce. Farmers markets are expanding, and central Louisiana is home to 10 active markets, 6 of which are open year-round.
We have fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, eggs, meat, baked goods, jams and jellies, lots of different options for people.
And these markets serve many purposes, such as increasing people's access to fresh, locally grown food. They also help the local economy. Dollars spent purchasing locally grown food from local farmers goes back into the community.
Every household in central Louisiana spent just $5 a week on locally produced food grown here in the 9 parishes of central Louisiana. Our farmers would retain over $91 million annually. So we're talking real economic benefits.
If you see a farmer's market open around the area, take the time to stop by, purchase fresh food, and get to know some of the people who work to keep healthy food on your plates. Joanna Phillips, ABC 31 News.
Cloudy skies didn't stop Cenla residents from praying together earlier today. National Day of Prayer calls on people of all different faiths to pray for the nation and its leaders. Grand deputies report making a number of arrests on different charges. A Pierre Pard man is arrested for reckless operation, flight from an officer, and underage DWI after he was reported driving an ATV on a state highway. 20-year-old Hobie A. Bear was caught after driving through Colfax to the Louisiana Mudfest. 50-year-old Joseph Ainsworth was arrested for assault and battery after a confrontation was reported between him and some tree trimmers. Deputies arrested a teen from Bentley for theft and criminal trespass in connection with stolen ATVs. 17-year-old Mason Lane Dodge is also accused of taking a utility trailer. And a man and woman are under arrest after deputies say they found them inside a vehicle filling syringes. They're 32-year-old Jessica Sullivan of Winfield and 23-year-old Aaron Poiso of Montgomery. Deputies say they both admitted to meth use. A Grand Parish man is arrested for the theft of a utility trailer and a zero-turn lawnmower from D&J Tire on Highway 3225. The joint investigation led Grant and Rapides Parish detectives to 47-year-old Robert Edgar Miles Jr. of Dry Palm. Miles is now awaiting extradition back to Rapides Parish, where the break-in and thefts occurred. 2 wives, 1 husband. He's now behind bars. WBRZ's Brandy Harris has a story of a rare case of bigamy from Baton Rouge.
It's a case of he said, and she said. Chaffee Brown Jr. is behind bars today, not for a violent crime, but for knowingly being married to 2 women at the same time, both living only about an hour away from each other.
He hasn't been married to her for 5 years.
That's not what officials are saying. Mr. Brown is still married to his first wife of nearly 25 years.
He's not a bad person. He does everything he can for the church. He comes from Plymouth Rock. He had 200 kids that looked up to him.
With only 1 line to certify that the information a person has provided is accurate, EBR doesn't really have a way to certify that a person is or is not married. And in the case of Mr. Brown, well, he lied not only to the EBR clerk of court, but also to both women.
It pretty much puts the burden on the applicants In other words, there's nothing that we can check or second guess if they say this is our first marriage.
According to an affidavit, it was Brown's first wife who found car insurance papers with both Brown and the other wife's name on it. That's when she decided to find out what was going on, and she discovered the other marriage license.
Certifying that the information they're providing is correct.
The clerk of court's office says it's difficult to catch someone married to more than one person at the same time, but Brown's Baton Rouge wife is standing by him.
So do you know what would have led to him getting arrested on the 23rd?
Because his wife is evil.
Alexandria National Cemetery is closed to new interments. We caught up with cemetery technician Clarence Chapman to find out what families will need to do instead.
Well, unfortunately, the Alexandria National Cemetery in Pineville is under closed status, which means that they cannot take any new burials. As far as what you would do in order for eligibility, you would have to call the scheduling office in St. Louis, which usually is done at the funeral home at that time, at the time of need. And during that time, you'd also have a DD-214, which has to be, DD-214 is actually the military records of the veteran.
The only interments being accepted are subsequent interments for veterans or eligible family members in an existing grave site. The Exchange presented a check for $2,500 to Tioga Student of the Year, Sarah Toll. Toll is a senior who plans to go to LSU in Baton Rouge to study pre-med. She was chosen as Student of the Year because she scored the highest in an essay contest. 3 area businessmen are honored for small business achievements. Ken Hale of the Bank of Montgomery Natchitoches was named USDA Rural Development Lender of the Year. And Walker Alford and Randy Seegers, both of All Hours Fitness in Manny, were named USDA Rural Development Borrowers of the Year. This afternoon, Central Louisiana Chamber of Commerce welcomed Sassy Girl's new owner, Ashley Dunn, with a ribbon cutting. Sassy Girl is a women's clothing store with options for all age groups. It's located at 1707 Metro Drive in Alexandria. A Menard High student is named to an advisory committee for the State High School Athletic Association. Sophomore Anderson DeWitt has maintained a 4-point average while playing football and tennis. He'll serve on the Student Athletic Advisory Panel for the coming school year. He's the son of Lori and Dr. Chance DeWitt. The month of May is full of festivals and entertainment opportunities in Avoyelles Parish, and the fun begins this weekend.
We started off with the weekend of May 4th and 5th, and that's the Crossroads Festival in Hesmer. So, John, if you're interested in coming play an old-timer softball game there with music and food opportunities, Hesmer's the place to be on May 4th and 5th. Tunica Biloxi is going to have their story time on May 5th. That's at 11 o'clock in the morning at the Tunica Biloxi Museum, geared for children, and they're introducing the events that are going to happen at the Tunica Biloxi Powwow on May 19th and 20th. We're bringing Frank Foster in concert on May 5th at Paragon Casino Resort. On May 6th, the Simmsport Volunteer Fire Department is going to have their annual dinner.
And for a full list of events during the month of May in Avoyelles Parish, you can visit travelavoyelles.com. Right now, cacti and succulent plants are a popular trend in gardening. On this edition of Get It Growing, LSU Ag Center horticulturist Dan Gill explains why these plants are excellent choices for beauty and variety, and they don't need to be pampered.
When I think about plant trends these days, I can't help but thinking about cactuses and succulents. When you look at your local nurseries these days, it's not unusual to find a wide selection of beautiful cactuses and succulents available for sale. Now, they're so interesting that you might be tempted to buy some, and you really should. They're unique, they're diverse, they're different colors and shapes and textures. They're really a marvelous group of plants. You can buy several of them in small pots and line them up on a windowsill for a beautiful collection. Or what's even especially more attractive is combine them together in these planters. We put several kinds of succulents and cactuses together to look really, really nice. Now these plants are so attractive that you're going to be tempted to use them all over. Remember, they need a lot of sun to stay healthy. If you want to show these inside in a kitchen or a patio or a dining room, be sure that you move them back outside after a week or two. They need plenty of sun, just like you see right here, to stay healthy. The second thing they need is not overwatering. If you water these plants too much, if you keep the soil constantly wet, they will rot. So make sure the containers that you grow these in have drainage holes. Water enough to where water comes out the drainage hole, then do not water again until the soil in the container is completely bone dry, and then water again. If you keep the soil constantly wet, they'll begin to die and rot off. You don't want that to happen. Look at this beautiful wall hanging here. It can be watered here in the back where you can see the soil is kept. A gorgeous way of using cactuses and succulents. So if you see these at your nursery, think that you might like to have some. They're not hard to take care of, and they're beautiful. Stay on the cutting trend of gardening and grow some cactuses and succulents. Forget it growing. I'm Dan Gill with the LSU Ag Center.
And for more information on other lawn and garden topics, call your parish LSU Ag Center Extension Service office or visit that website on your screen.
When temperatures rise, some don't always have the luxury of turning on a thermostat. That's why KLAX TV and area businesses have teamed up to form the Spring Fan Drive for the elderly. You can help by dropping off a fan at a location near you. Fans will be collected and distributed by each parish's Council on Aging provider. Remember, keeping cool isn't something that comes easy for everyone. Help us to bring some relief from the summer heat to those less fortunate.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Ross Whitley, and looking at what to expect over the next couple of days. Well, tomorrow, not going to be as warm, still going to be rather warm out there and feel even worse thanks to our humidity. Cloud cover expected to continue, so the cloud cover moving in this afternoon, still had a little bit of sunshine out there, but as we go into the overnight hours and continue into the early morning hours, we will see that cloud cover continue to increase. The shower chances rather low tomorrow, a better chance of a shower as we go into the day on Saturday and Friday night. So late Friday night, a better chance of seeing a thunderstorm or shower. And then in the morning hours, the showers or storms around in spots. Otherwise, mostly cloudy. We will continue to see at least a slight chance of a shower as we work into the evening and overnight hours for the day on Saturday. Sunday, sunny conditions return, partly cloudy and pleasant out there, dry for a few days. As far as our dew points go, unfortunately, the temperatures ramp right back up as we go into next week once again, and we'll see that humidity increasing as well. Very warm out there across the southeast. That is here included. The showers and storms stay off to our north once again, basically in the same area they are in today. That cold front will be very slow moving to come south, and really not even a cold front, more or less just a dry line or a very weak boundary that is bringing us those rain showers. As we look at the hourly planner tomorrow, of course, we have a lot of outdoor activities going on in the afternoon and evening hours. The cloud cover sticking with us all day long. Our dew points, well, they're going to be uncomfortable all the way up into the 70s by the time we head to about the 5 o'clock hour through, well, really 6, 7, or 8 o'clock. We're going to continue to see those dew points in that uncomfortable range. As we get any time above 65, it starts to feel rather humid outside. Add on top of that, then our temperatures are going to be in the mid-80s. It will feel like the upper 80s out there, a little sweltering, a little warm for our evening hours. Then that trails off as we go into the overnight hours. Looking at our weekend, of course, this is Saturday here. That's where the thunderstorms will be. They'll be moving off to the south and off to the east as we go into the day on Sunday and finally clearing out. Forecast lows out there tonight. Yeah, the humidity not going anywhere, around 65 to 67. Cloud cover coming in. And for tomorrow, chance of showers relatively low, would say around 20%. Cloudy and very humid, anywhere from 81 all the way up to 86 for your highs tomorrow. And that extended forecast. 78 with a shower or thunderstorm around on Saturday, and right back up to the 80s, all the way up to 89 by the time we head into the end of next week. That's a look at your 7-day and your weather forecast. Scott?
All right, thank you, Ross. Coming up, a former NSU softball player has earned a major Southland Conference honor.
Medical examiner.
Detective. Homicide.
I can't write you a prescription.
These are my day clothes.
Ding.
Then I had to chase this guy all the way down to Fenway.
We should do this again sometime.
Rizzoli and Isles, a perfect match.
Weekends at 11 on KLAX TV.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nick Frank. The NSU baseball team is peaking at the right time. Bobby Barbier's team has won 4 of their last 5 and are starting to play some of their best baseball of the year. And while Coach Barbier is obviously proud of the way his team has played as of late, he knows they need to keep moving forward if they want to keep the wins flowing.
Games we lost, we're a play or 2 away or a hit or 2 away, and games we've won, we've got the extra hit or made the extra play. So it shows you that we're right there. You know, we're right there, and we've come a long ways. But now it's time to see our guys take that next step of making that extra play to finish off a series like we did over the week, like we had over the weekend.
Former NSU All-American catcher Rhonda Ruby Barb will become the first softball student athlete or coach inducted into the Southland Conference Hall of Honor. She becomes just the 3rd female student athlete in the Hall of Honor's membership. The catcher became NSU's only All-American selection in program history after hitting .341 with 44 RBIs.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
To catch a killer, you gather the evidence.
There's blood on the screen.
And build a picture-perfect case.
One of you stabbed her 12 times.
Hold on, there, FBI.
Bones Weekends.
Weekends on KLAX TV.
MASH 4077, SOS and Mayday.
MeTV presents MASH May Days.
Something special just for me.
Each week in May, MeTV remembers a different memorable 4077 character. There's Hawkeye Week.
It's a prayer come true.
Hot Lips Week.
Here's to me.
Radar Week.
Oh, that's me.
Potter Week.
Perfecto.
And BJ Week.
You've got to be kidding.
On MeTV Alexandria.